can learn the technique of how to jawab the soalan, how to get the marks and everything. Okay. So for new students, if you can see, this is the module. So we have already completed some of the questions. So that's why you can see ada scribbles dekat sini. Okay, so this one all completed, all this part, everything else is completed. We did the revision in the class. So now we are actually dekat sini. Komposisi darah, composition of human blood. Okay, composition of human blood, where you learn about apa tu? Sel darah merah, sel darah putih, lymphocyte, glucosid, all those kind of things. Okay, all right. So last week, teacher did up until the sample of human blood. Okay, kita belajar tentang, the neutrophil, eosinophil, apa similarity, apa perbezaan, how to get these marks and everything. Okay, so now I'm going to go to a bit of a longer question. This is exam style question. Same thing as well, same thing about the composition of human blood, but the soalan-soalan is slightly longer. Okay, slightly longer, but it's something that we have done before. So, new students, are you guys done with chapter 10 in school? Or you guys are still learning about it? Dah belajar ke or still tengah belajar? Still learning, still tengah belajar. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. If teacher is ahead, don't worry. Okay, don't worry about it. Every single question, teacher will normally start with explaining. Okay, I will always explain first, then only I will answer the questions. Okay. All right, so let's start. If you are scrolling the module, you can scroll bawah until you can see these three images. Okay, until you can see these three images. So guys, today's class will be 2 hours class. I'm so glad. So because I really wanted to have longer class with you guys. Apa kita buat? We will, wait we have blood clotting. Okay, teacher will do up until blood clotting, this page. Okay, so that means, yeah, we have quite a not quite a lot, just a few. Teacher akan ajar sampai blood clotting. After blood clotting, teacher will give you a break, a short break, before kita start dengan lymphatic system. Okay, system lympha. Before we start with system lympha, teacher will give you a short break. Okay, system lympha is the last portion for your chapter 10. Okay, it comes somewhere around 10.7 if I'm not mistaken. Alright, Dila, we will have a short break and then kita start dengan system lympha. Okay, let me see. Already in YouTube already. Okay, come. Everybody ready? Shall we start? Ada tak siapa-siapa yang still haven't ready yet? Semua dah bersedia? Okay, the usual rules of class applies. If I'm too fast, please slow me down. If teacher miss out any of your questions, you can ask me in the chat. But still, if I miss it out, please help your friends. But do it respectfully. Okay? Alright, let's start for today's session. Today's session, we will start with beberapa jenis sel darah manusia. Okay, we have several types of human blood cell. The lucky thing for you guys untuk this question is dia dah siap label dah. So let's say lah, during exam time kita dah lupa the shape, how does it look like ke apa ke, doesn't matter, they already given you the labels. Not labels, only one they give you the labels. Okay, so here you have your platelet. Okay, always remember platelet ni, yeah, I give you a little bit of characteristic for platelet. Platelet ni, it's always in irregular shape. Okay, bentuk dia memang irregular and then dia tak ada nucleus. No nucleus. And dia adalah yang paling kecil, smallest. Okay, this is a basic characteristic untuk platelet. So anytime, let's say in exam, they're asking you for platelet, this is what should come to your mind. Okay, irregular shape, memang bentuk dia tak teratur and tak ada nucleus and dia adalah komponen yang sangat-sangat, yet not sangat, paling kecil. Okay, cell U I think sangat senang. Just looking at the shape, we know it. Ini adalah your red blood cell. Red blood cell, sel darah merah. Okay, sel darah merah, we already know what is the characteristic. Dia adalah biconcave. In English, biconcave. In Malay, we call it as Dwi-Cekul. Okay, same as well. Dia tak ada nucleus. Dia tak ada nucleus. And yeah, that's it. Okay, yang ini sel V pula. Sel V dia nampak sangat besar. Okay, so this one will fall under kita punya sel darah putih. Okay, it will fall under your sel darah putih. Specifically, I will give you the scientific name later. Okay, alright. Now, dekat sini, the first one, 2 marks, they are asking you to give the names. So, give the names, just give the names lah. Okay, so remember, teacher tell you, always push for scientific name. Sel darah merah, which is your U, the scientific name is erythrocyte. Erythrocyte, this is in Malay, or erythrocyte. Okay, push for this one, so that your brain always remember your sel darah merah, what is the scientific name. Okay, now moving on to V. Okay, so V, just tengok bentuk dia. Look at the bentuk dia. Okay, and look inside. Okay, look inside. Dalam dia, it shapes like this. Yang ada double macam ni. Okay, dalam dia, it shapes like this. This is classic eosinophil. Okay, ini adalah classic eosinophil. How to spell? E-O-C-No-Phil. In English and in Malay, eosinophil. Okay. So, why teacher said classic eosinophil? Why is it? Because last time, teacher, kalau erythrocyte tu tulis sel darah merah boleh ke? Boleh. Of course can. But on a longer time, try to learn apa tulis dalam bahasa saintifik erythrocyte. Okay. What am I saying? Eosinophil. Why? Why did you say this is classic eosinophil? Sebab untuk eosinophil, structure dia dua je. Okay, nucleus dia ada dua lobes. Lobes tu apa? Ni. This shape. Macam ni. Alright, this one is nucleus dia ada dua lobes. It has 2 lobes. In Malay, you call it as dua cupik. Okay, so anytime you see like that, that is very classic eosinophil. Alright, so untuk eosinophil, there is no any macam sel darah merah, sel darah putih, something like that. You need to write eosinophil. Memang there is no other names for it. Okay, alright. Next, explain one characteristic of cell U which related to its function. Satu ciri-ciri yang berkait dengan sel U and it must be related to dia punya function, its function. Okay, so cell U is your red blood cell. Okay, so fungsi red blood cell, fungsi sel darah merah adalah untuk mengangkut oksigen dalam bentuk oksihemoglobin. So that is the function. So macam mana kita nak relatekan bentuk dia dengan fungsinya? How are we going to relate the shape with the function of red blood cell? Okay, very easy. Tugasnya adalah untuk to carry the oxygen, right? So you write here, sel U tidak mempunyai nukleus. Okay, kenapa dia tak ada nukleus? Supaya lebih banyak hemoglobin dimuatkan di dalamnya. Okay, so students doing in English do the same thing. Cell U doesn't contain nucleus, so that more hemoglobin can be loaded into it. Okay, this function of red blood cell, this is very classic. You can't run away from it. Always they will ask about this. Okay, what is the function? What is the characteristic and all kind of things. Okay, now teacher want to ask you. This question, they give you 2 marks. Okay, but if teacher write like this, agak-agak dapat tak 2 markah? What do you guys think? Do you think I will get 2 marks if I write like this?
1 mark, teacher.
1 mark. Why? Ngapkah?
Oh, I think terangkan satu jadi saya yang berkait dengan fungsinya. I don't know lah.
Betul, 1 mark. Okay, first thing first, kita kena ceritakan fungsi dia dulu. Okay, the 2 marks here, ceritakan fungsi dia. What is the function of red blood cell? Okay, untuk transport oksigen dalam bentuk hemoglobin. So, sel U ni dia tak ada nukleus supaya kita boleh angkat banyak hemoglobin. Dia kena macam cerita. So, add on a sentence. If you guys are writing it down, just add 1. Sel U berfungsi untuk mengangkut oksigen dalam bentuk hemoglobin. You give me this, baru dapat 1 markah for this one, and then 1 lagi markah over here. Okay, 2 marks. Always be vigilant, check your marks. Cell U functions to transport oxygen in the form of oxyhemoglobin. Dah settle. Okay. So 1 here and then another 1. Okay. Alright. Moving on. Compare the lifespan between cell U dengan platelet. Bandingkan tempoh hayat antara cell U and also your platelet. Okay, so very easy. Cell U, red blood cell, is 120 days, 120 hari. Okay, cell U, and this one is your platelet. Okay, so your cell U is 120 days. Your platelet is less than a week. Kurang dari 1 minggu. Okay. So, here 1 markah aja kan? So, you guys put it in the form of sentence lah. Okay. Kalau tulis ciri dia sebelum tulis fungsi still dapat markah tak? Boleh. Still can. Don't worry about it. Okay, still can. Boleh juga.
Teacher.
Yeah.
Kalau soalan untuk bandingkan dan bezakan ni, kita nak kena guna manakala ke?
Boleh? Can?
Okay, thank you.
First time I'm getting this question. Alright. Next. Let's say differentiate between cell U dengan cell V. Okay, here they are asking you to bezakan. Okay, apa beza cell U dengan cell V? Okay, cell U is your red blood cell, sel darah merah. Cell V is your eosinophil, kan? Okay, let's see. How many marks? Satu markah je. Okay, satu markah means just by looking at the picture, cell U tak ada nucleus, cell V ada nucleus. That's all. Just tulis tu je. Okay, cell U tiada nucleus. Cell V got nucleus. Okay, that's all. Satu markah je, right? So make it like a long sentence. Okay, last one. Okay, darah manusia terdiri daripada 55% of plasma, 45 komponen sel. Okay, for 55 plasma and 45 cell component, senaraikan, list down the components found in blood plasma. Komponen-komponen yang terdiri dalam plasma darah. Okay, so what are the things? Apa yang kita boleh jumpa inside your plasma darah, your blood plasma? Okay, we can see a lot. Teacher will list down everything. Benda pertama, water. Air. Obviously, because darah, right? You will have it's in a liquid form. So water. Next, hormones. Okay, and then next, nutrient. Okay, kalau ada nutrient, mesti akan ada bahan buangan. Waste products. Bahan buangan. Okay, apa lagi? Enzyme. Okay, and finally, kita ada protein plasma. I think teacher put here. Protein plasma. Okay, in Malay, just terbalikkan je. Plasma, protein. Okay, so dekat over here, they are asking you to senaraikan. Okay, dia suruh kita senaraikan, right? Okay, so if senaraikan, listing down and check the marks. Okay, markah ada 2. So if you have 2, pilih je lah whatever that you guys want to write. Okay, yang paling senang, the paling senang, I got teach you before, letak water, take nutrients, take waste product. Very, very, very easy. Sangat senang. You no need to crack your head. Okay, faham? Understand until here? Clear or not? Somebody say antibody. Yeah. Antibody pun boleh. Wait, teacher miss out antibody. Okay. Antibody pun boleh. Okay? Sangat senang. Wait. Teacher send you guys this. Kalau tak sempat screenshot, you can take this. Salah. Alright. Okay, let's move on. Okay, moving on to blood group. Kumpulan darah. Okay, blood groups. Where is my blood group? Okay, first thing first, fahamkan soalan first. Rajah 3 menunjukkan kehadiran antigen dan antibody dalam darah seorang individu. Okay, so first kita ada antigen and then second we have antibody. Okay, so I will list down first. Antigen let's say ini blood group Blood group kumpulan darah. First kita ada A, kita ada B, kita ada AB and you have O. Betul? You have A, you have AB, you have A, you have B, AB and also O. Am I right? Betul lah? Okay. So once you identify your blood group, once you know the kumpulan darah, straight away try to find out what is the antigen. Okay, antigen pada the kumpulan darah over here. So this one is antigen. Okay, so let's look at the antigen for A. Okay, so kumpulan darah A, the antigen is antigen A. Kumpulan darah B, the antigen is antigen B. Okay, kumpulan darah AB, the antigen is A dan B. Okay, antigen A dan B. Kumpulan darah O, there is no antigen. Okay, it doesn't have any antigen. Okay, now after you know the antigen, kita kena tahu dia punya antibody pula. Okay, dia punya antibody. Okay, so your blood group A, the antibody-nya adalah anti-B. So kita terbalikkan dia. Kalau dia A, antibody-nya adalah anti-B. Okay, kalau dia B, antibody-nya adalah anti-A. Okay, you just terbalik here and there. Okay, kalau AB, it doesn't have the antibody. Okay, kalau O, antibody-nya adalah anti-A and anti-B. Okay, ini je you guys need to remember. Okay, take it as your revision. Okay, after remembering this, of course, kita kena fahamkan siapa yang boleh menderma and siapa yang boleh menerima. Okay, menderma and menerima, I think you guys know about it. Kalau A, dia boleh derma kepada A dengan AB je. Okay, dia boleh derma kepada A and then dia boleh derma kepada AB saja. Kalau B, dia boleh derma kepada B and dia boleh derma kepada AB sahaja. Okay, just see the alphabet. Okay, just see the alphabet and from there kita dah tahu dah. Okay, kalau AB ni, dia boleh derma pada AB sahaja. It's not like AB dia boleh pergi ke A dengan B tak ada. AB ni dia macam kedekut sikit. So they only will derma to themselves. Dia bagi diri sendiri je. Okay, O ni own universal lah. Okay, this one is easy. Universal, penderma universal because dia dah boleh bagi semua orang. A pun boleh, B pun boleh, AB pun boleh. O also boleh. Okay, penderma. Okay, yang terima pula. Okay, whoever, siapa yang dapat darah tu. Okay, whoever will get it, right? Dia akan terbalik sikit. Okay, untuk terima, A dia boleh terima daripada A sahaja and also O, of course. B dia terima daripada B and O. AB ni dia boleh terima daripada semua orang. Okay, dia boleh terima daripada A, dia boleh get it from B, AB and also O. Tetapi untuk O, dia kesian sikit. Dia boleh bagi, but to receive it, they only will receive it from themselves. Okay? 4 things to remember. Blood group, apa jenis kumpulan darah, antigen dia, and also dia punya antibody. Okay? Antigen and also antibody. Okay, now look at the question. Wait. Okay. I think the shape is not so clear. Sekejap teacher clearkan show the actual image. Dia macam ni. And then you can see the spikes. Okay. Ni. Macam ni. Sama juga. You can see the spikes. And this one also the same. Okay. As for the label, if this one is your red blood cell, sel darah merah. This one yang dekat sini is antigen A. Yang ini pula anti-B antibody. Okay, I hope it's clear. Okay. Ada student asking me, teacher, what is antigen? Okay. Alright. Kalau student tak faham what is antigen, okay. Antigen ni dia macam bahan asing. Okay, antigen dia macam bahan asing. In English, it's foreign substances. Okay, bahan asing means bahan asing yang masuk ke badan kita lah. Okay, and then dia akan trigger the tindak balas immune. So these are the antigen. Okay, so antigen ni dalam kumpulan darah ni kita ada antigen, right? So antigen ni biasanya you can see it at the permukaan of your sel darah merah. So that's why you can see sel darah merah here, and then on top of it you can find the antigen. Okay, so it's a type of protein and everything. So what it does, you need to look at the antibody also. So antibody ni dia macam protein. Okay, it's a type of protein. And then antibody ni biasanya dihasilkan oleh your white blood cell. Okay, your sel darah putih. So antibody adalah untuk musnahkan, untuk melawan your antigens, to fight and also to destroy your antigens. Okay, so antibody. Okay. Antibody, you can say dia macam it's a protein, and you can find the protein on your blood plasma. Tugasnya adalah untuk serang antigen asing. Okay, to attack foreign antigens. Okay, all right. So now look at the questions. Based on the diagram 3, identify the type of blood group. Give reason for your answer. Okay, so the type of blood group. Okay, ini you can see the blood type, sel darah merah. And on top of it, atas dia ada antigen A. Okay, atas dia ada antigen A. And then over here pula, you can see anti-B antibody. So, don't look here, but look here. Okay, mana-mana sel darah merah, the one that have antigen A here, that means it is kumpulan darah A. Okay, so you write your answer, kumpulan darah A. Okay, blood group A. Okay, now they're asking for sebab what is the reason you say yang ini adalah kumpulan darah A. So you can just say memang you can see the antigen A on the permukaan. Terdapat antigen A pada permukaan sel darah merah. Okay, in English, there is an antigen A on the surface of red blood cell. Okay, So to decide it, just look at the red blood cell. Just tengok je sel darah merah. And then tengok on the permukaan what kind of antigen you can find. Daripada antigen tu, I think you guys already know. Okay? Or you guys will already know. Okay, now, adakah individu tersebut boleh mendermakan darahnya kepada pesakit yang mempunyai kumpulan darah O? Terangkan jawapan anda. Okay, so be careful lah. Check the marks here. Dia ada 4 markah. Okay, so that means you really have to explain well why the person can or cannot. Boleh ke dia derma darah? And kita kena terangkan jawapan. Okay, so teacher going to split the answer. Okay, if I split the answer, memang jawapan dia akan panjang sikit, but it's easier for you to understand. Okay, so first thing first, this person boleh tak dia dermakan darah kepada pesakit yang mempunyai kumpulan darah O? Okay, obviously cannot. Okay, the answer is tidak. Okay, because remember teacher say O ni dia macam kesian sikit because dia boleh bagi pada semua orang. It can give to everybody. However, they can't receive it from everyone. They only receive it from themselves. Okay, but how to explain this? Okay, first, ini dah satu markah when you answer this is already 1 mark. Okay, first thing, okay, individu tersebut mempunyai kumpulan darah A. Okay, kumpulan darah A means you can see antigen A pada permukaan sel darah merah, which kita repeat balik apa yang kita tulis dekat sini. You guys can repeat it over here ataupun you can just say this particular person dia mempunyai kumpulan darah A. In English, the same thing. Individual has blood group A. Okay. Then, number 2, kita explain the blood group O yang orang yang kita nak donate ni, orang yang kita nak derma ni, he's from kumpulan darah O, right? Okay. So, individu dengan kumpulan darah O mempunyai antibody anti-A dan B. Okay, antibody anti-A and anti-B, you can find it on the O. In English, same thing. Individual with blood, short form, with blood group O has antibody anti-A and B on the blood plasma, blah, 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 and everything. Okay. Kalau they have antibody anti-A and antibody anti-B, apa yang terjadi? Antibody anti-A ni, dia akan bertindak balas. Okay. It will react with the antigen A yang ada dekat sini. Okay. Dia akan bertindak balas with the antigen A because it will assume, dia akan ingat, oh, this is actually a problem. Okay, ini adalah benda asing. It's entering my body, so I need to fight it. Okay, I need to fight it. So, proses penggumpalan darah akan berlaku. That means agglutination will happen. Kalau darah dah bergumpal, that is actually a very serious problem. Okay, it can lead to death. Orang tu boleh mati because saluran darah dah tersumbat. Okay, sel darah merah menggumpal means your saluran darah will sumbat. It will how to say? It will block your blood vessel. Okay, so that's why it is very important untuk check check darah tu. Dia daripada, I mean, what kind of blood group are they from? Okay. Okay, so number 3, then you explain impactnya. Antibody anti-A boleh bertindak balas dengan antigen A dalam darah penderma. Dan menyebabkan penggumpalan darah. Okay, so English, same thing. Anti-A can react with antigen A and cause blood agglutination. Dah. Okay. So the 4 marks yang kita nampak tadi in your exam, in your paper, it comes from bila kita jawab no and then kita explain apa yang ada dekat darah penderma and then apa yang ada dekat darah penerima. That's my red one. Apa yang ada dekat darah penderma, what you can see on the darah penerima, and kalau dia combine, apa impactnya? Okay, what is the impact? Okay, so always remember, antibody kita ni dia sentiasa bertentangan dengan antigen. Okay, so like here, your blood group A ni, dia ada antigen A kan? So that means dia ada anti-B. So let's say blood group B, dia masuk ke orang sini, dia akan fight blood group B tu. That's why we put here, dia anti-B. Okay, yang ni, kumpulan darah B pula. Okay, kumpulan darah B, dia ada antigen B. But dia anti-A. So that means kalau orang tu, I mean, they suddenly they get blood from blood group A. Then the body will fight it. Okay, yang ni pula O. Okay, how about O, teacher? Okay, O ni dia tak ada antigen. But then dia adalah anti-A dengan anti-B. Then let's say O ni tersalah terima daripada A ataupun B. Sebab dia memang anti-A dengan B kan? What will happen? Dia memang akan fight. Okay, so ini adalah the most dangerous one. Okay, let's say AB. Okay, AB dia ada antigen A dengan B. But dia tak anti dengan siapa-siapa. So that's why dia boleh terima daripada semua orang. Faham tak the logiknya? So just look for the word anti. Okay, so anti, it's easier for you to see dia anti dengan siapa. Okay, it's easier for your brain to remember that way. So kalau lah, let's say kumpulan darah yang salah dah masuk dalam badan kita. Okay, a wrong blood group enters us inside our body. Let's say like teacher adalah B. Okay, my blood group is B. Okay, let's say accidentally teacher terima daripada A. Teacher punya antigen ni, yang B ni, it will meet up dengan antibody. Okay, so teacher punya antibody, teacher punya anti adalah A. So teacher punya antigen dengan antibody ni, they will meet up and then the penggumpalan will happen. Okay, penggumpalan, the English one will be agglutination. Okay, so your blood cell will clump together. Okay, your sel darah akan menggumpal and dia akan sumbatkan your saluran darah. It will block your blood vessel. So it can cause death. Okay, the patient can actually die. Okay, so that's why anytime kalau kita nak pergi surgery ke, you know some surgery yang memerlukan darah, some surgery that they need to include the blood inside your body, they really they will check everything very carefully sebelum they will give you allow you for the surgery. Same goes to Same goes to, let's say, apa tu, organ transplant. You know, you want to transplant your organ, kan? Same also. Let's say you need to look at the cell darah, and also you also need to look at your body can accept it or not. Okay, so always remember antigen ni dia macam penanda protein. Okay, you can always find it in your pada permukaan sel darah merah, on the surface of your red blood cell. Okay, so yang antigen ni kerjanya adalah untuk kenal pasti kumpulan darah. Okay, dia akan kenal pasti kumpulan darah. Your antibody pula, dia macam protein, like a defense protein. Okay, like a defense protein. Yang ini, dia akan terapung pada plasma. This one, sel darah merah. This one, dia macam terapung dekat plasma. So, kerja dia adalah untuk menyerang apa-apa antigen asing. Okay, so always remember the word anti. And also remember what going to happen kalaulah patient tu tersalah dapat the blood group. Okay, alright. So that is the revision for this one. Let's look at the longer question sikit. Okay, let's look at the longer question. Okay. Now, jadual 1 menunjukkan kehadiran antigen dalam darah bagi 3 individu. Okay, so let's understand the table first. Okay, kita ada individu X. We have individu X, you have individu Y, and also individu Z. Okay, let's look at the antigen. Okay, individu X ni, the antigen that you can see adalah antigen B. Okay, so remember, kalau antigen B ada dekat darah, that means it is blood group B, kumpulan darah B. Okay, so during the exam, siap tulis kumpulan darah B. Why suddenly got antigen D? Betul ke? Okay. Next. Y ni pula. Okay, Y, they mention here antigen D. Okay. But remember, we don't have antigen D. I think soalan asking us to label what is antigen D. So nanti we will come back to this one. Okay. Then Z pula, it has antigen A and it has antigen B. So kalau dia ada A dengan B, that means ini adalah kumpulan darah A, B. Alright, very easy. Okay, now identify the blood group of individual Y. Give a reason for your answer. Okay. Give a reason for your answer. Blood group Y. I think the soalan they are supposed to ask.
Bukan soalan tanya pasal the negative, the factor what? Faktor
Am I
yang
misunderstanding the question?
yang where does the blood has negative like O positive, O negative.
I misunderstood the question, is it?
Yeah.
Perfect. You mean the rhesus? Are they asking about the rhesus?
Yeah, rhesus. Yeah, rhesus.
Ya, alamak. Obviously lah. Okay, guys. My bad. Okay, here, this one, they are asking about the rhesus. My bad. Okay, let's go through about the rhesus first. Here's my rhesus. Okay. Okay. We have something called rhesus factor. Rhesus factor. Okay. Rhesus factor means rhesus factor, it's a type of antigen. In Malay, it's the same thing, but terbalikkan the word, factor rhesus. Okay. Rhesus factor, factor rhesus means it's an antigen. Okay. And then antigen ni, dia ada dekat permukaan. Just now we established that, right? In the surface, in the permukaan of your sel darah merah, in your red blood cell. Okay. So, rhesus ni, you have your RH positive, and then dia ada RH negative. Okay, you have two types. One, you have RH positive, and then another one, you have RH negative. And this one, RH positive ni, we call it as individu yang ada antigen D. Okay, and then RH negative ni adalah individual yang tak ada faktor rhesus. Okay, they don't have the factor. Rhesus. Okay, so what actually happens here? Apa yang terjadi with the rhesus factor? Normally, the problem comes when the let's say the mother it's in RH negative and then the child it is in RH positive, and that's when they will have some trouble. Okay, why? Because this antigen D, right, from the mother might have the antigen D. And then dia akan masuk ke dalam darah and it try to create the antibody. Okay, it will try to create the antibody D, anti-antibody D. So, when this kind of thing happens, it is very dangerous for the baby and something like that. It can have an impact for the baby and also the pregnancy and things like that. Okay, so the rhesus factor, just remember, it's a type of antigen, and then you will have a type of individual yang ada rhesus factor. So kalau dia ada rhesus factor, we call them as RH positive or antigen D. And then the person yang tak ada the rhesus factor, then we call them as RH negative. Okay, RH negative is antigen D. Dia punya antigen D tu negative. I write here also. Dia punya antigen D is negative. That is your rhesus factor. Okay, now coming back to the question. Wait, teacher delete this. Okay. Now, coming back to the question. Okay, you have antigen A, and then you have your antigen B, you have your antigen D. So now here, your antigen D kita adalah the rhesus. Okay, this will be a rhesus. Okay, so let's look at X. So I think this one, you need to read it as antigen A, dia present. Antigen B, dia tak ada. The sengkang is actually, it doesn't have. And antigen D, dia ada. So the blood group is, of course, blood group A. Okay, so more specifically is A positive. Okay, why A positive? Sebab rhesus ni, dia ada rhesus. Okay, now, look at Y. Okay, Y, dia ada antigen A. And then antigen B pun ada juga. But antigen D, which is the rhesus, dia tak ada. Okay, it's absent. So that means blood group ni adalah A, B negative. Sebab rhesus ni tak ada. Okay. So, Z, antigen A tak ada. Antigen B pun tak ada. But it has the rhesus. Kalau A pun tak ada, B pun tak ada, obviously it is your O positive. Okay, thank you girl for correcting me just now. Okay, so this will be your AB, O positive. Like teacher, my blood group is B positive. Okay, B positive. So that means I have the rhesus present in my this one in my blood. My mom also is a B positive. So normally, if you want to know about your blood group, you can always go back and check your parents. It's either you fall under your mom or you fall under the dad. Okay. All right. So anytime, remember, you have your rhesus. You have your rhesus means it will become positive. If you don't have the rhesus, it will become negative. That's it. Okay. Now, identify the blood group of individual Y. Okay. So we have already mentioned this will be AB. So your blood group is blood group AB. Okay. Kumpulan darah AB. How many marks? 2 marks. Okay, why? Because they are asking us to give the reason. Kenapa? Why did you decide this is AB? Okay, so you mentioned sebab you can see the antigens here. Kerana mengandungi antigen A dan antigen B di permukaan sel darah merah. Okay, in English the same thing also because it contains antigen A and antigen B on the surface of red blood cell. Okay, dah. So explain this 1 mark and explain over here 1 mark. Okay, now next question. Amir has blood group B. He had an accident and need a blood transfusion immediately. Okay, which individual can donate his blood to? Which individual can donate his blood? Can donate the blood to Amir. Okay, so dia ada blood group B and then dia memerlukan blood transfusion. So obviously, when by looking at it, you can say this person. Okay, because O is universal donor, right? So you can give this guy, he can give the blood. So 1 mark, right? Just put the individuals there. Be careful with the names when you are writing it down. Okay, next. Explain your answer. Why? Why we say that individual Z, dia boleh menderma darah. Why not individual X? Why not individual Y? Okay, so if you guys are still in your lower secondary, that means your form 1, form 2, form 3, you can say, because blood group O, kumpulan darah O adalah penderma universal. So that's why they can donate blood to anybody. But once you move on to your form 4, you are going to make your explanation. So how to make your explanation? Kita akan cerita tentang segala antigen and everything. Okay. Now go back to the marks. You have 2 marks. Okay. Cerita tentang antigen. Same like before. Individu Z tidak mempunyai antigen A dan antigen B. Antigen B. So, maka tindak balas dengan antibody anti-A dalam badan Amir tidak berlaku. Tidak akan berlaku. Okay, I think you guys continue the sentence. Then do the conclusion. So, darah individu Z serasi dengan darah Amir. Okay, dah settle. Okay, so just now the example that we did, right? Contoh yang kita buat tadi, they are asking boleh derma darah ke tidak? But we say no. Okay, we say no, right? But here we are saying yes, boleh. So the explanation will be opposite. Okay, the explanation apa yang kita nak terangkan tadi, it will be opposite from what we did just now. Okay, so in English, same thing. Individual Z doesn't have antigen A and antigen B. So, the reaction with antibody anti-A in Amir's body will not occur. Then your conclusion will be the blood is compatible. Okay, serasi is compatible with Amir's blood. Okay, finish. Okay. Okay, kenapa? Then, if you want to do a further revision, before your exam, if you want to do further revision, ask yourself, kenapa? Why we cannot do with X? Okay, because X ni, it's blood group A, so that means dia ada antigen A. Okay, Amir is B, so he has anti-A antibody. So definitely kalau dia yang ni masuk ke Amir's body, the Amir's body will think that something is entering in the body. Okay, so how about Y? Okay, Y is the blood group AB. Blood group AB, antigen AB. So Amir dia anti A, right? So he will definitely go and attack also. Okay, yeah. So the safest is the O. Okay, because there is nothing to attack. Okay. Now, here, Amir's wife gave birth to her first child but suffered a miscarriage in her second pregnancy. His wife is rhesus negative and all his fetuses are rhesus positive. Explain why his wife suffered a miscarriage in her second pregnancy. Okay, so anak pertama dengan selamat. Okay, the wife melahirkan anak pertama dengan selamat. But then she go through keguguran on the second pregnancy. Okay, the pregnancy kedua, the wife dia adalah rhesus negative and semua fetus is the baby adalah rhesus positive. Okay, so we are going to explain mengapa isteri mengalami keguguran on the second pregnancy. Okay, alright. So let's go through the rhesus part again. Okay, info yang kita ada ialah the wife dia RH negatif. Okay, so RH negatif maksudnya dia tiada antigen D. Okay, kalau dia tak ada antigen D, that means dia hanya akan produce anti-D antibody. Okay, tiada antigen D, so dia hanya akan produce anti-D antibody. Okay, alright. So, however, semua fetus, the babies, ni wife okay, the babies, teacher put here baby, but during your masa tulis jawapan, use the word fetus, okay? The fetuses, they are RH positive. Okay, dia adalah rhesus positive. So, just now we learned, kalau rhesus positive, that means dia ada antigen D. Okay, so kita ada, we have this information. So, now, the first fetus, dia ada RH positive, that means dia ada antigen D. Okay, so now let's see. How many marks? 4 marks. Okay. Teacher akan pecahkan the jawapan for you guys to explain this. Okay. First thing, okay. Alright. Dalam bulan akhir, kehamilan, okay. A little bit of the fetus's cell, serpihan cell. Serpihan sel darah fetus anak pertama yang mengandungi antigen D, because the first child, remember the first child was fine, right? So the first child, he has antigen D. So the little bit of the antigen D, dia bercampur dengan darah ibu melalui plasenta yang mula tabrak. So the issue only starts on the final month of pregnancy. Ataupun, final month of the pregnancy. Okay, a little bit of the fetus's blood. So remember, the fetus blood contains antigen D. Okay, that means the baby punya darah dalam darah baby tu, dia ada antigen D. But the problem is, the mother, dia tak ada antigen D. So obviously, the mother's body will think differently. The mother's immune system, dia akan terkesan dengan this antigen D. So the mother's immune system will detect the antigen D. Okay, so teacher put it in Malay first lah, then later I will do it in English. Okay, then next thing, ini merangsang penghasilan antibody terhadap antigen D. Okay? Sebab tiba-tiba out of nowhere, the antigen D ni, it is entering the mother's body. So if it is entering the mother's body, it will merangsang, it will stimulate the production of the antibody inside the mother. Okay, dalam badan mak. Okay, then after that what happens? Okay, antibody, anti-D, dia akan mengalir melalui plasenta ke darah fetus. Okay. So, when the mother's body, it's already stimulate the antibody kan? So, antibody ni sekarang dia akan masuk balik ke inside the baby's body. Okay, through the placenta, it goes through the baby's body. Okay, then after that what happens? Jumlah antibody yang sedikit tidak memberi kesan pada fetus, the first fetus, to the anak pertama, not fetus lah, anak pertama. Anak pertama. However, when the mom, dia pregnant again for the second child, then the problem starts. Okay, pada kehamilan kedua, darah fetus yang memasuki how to say darah ibu merangsang lebih banyak penghasilan antibody, anti-D. Okay, so when the mom, they conceive the second child, what happens? Again, the same process happens. Macam tadi kan? The same process happen. The blood from the fetus, it enters the mother, and this time, it will produce more. You will have more anti-D antibodies. Okay, antibody, anti-D. So finally, what happens? Yang antibody ni, anti-D, dia meresap masuk ke dalam sistem peredaran darah fetus and menyebabkan kemusnahan sel darah merah. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is the story. Teacher dah pecahkan the story for you guys. By right, dia ada 4 markah je. You can actually combine the sentences. But since we are doing in the form of revision, I don't want to just campak the soalan. I don't want to just campak and then combine the answers like that. So I divide the answers for you guys so that when you do the revision, you can baca satu-satu. Okay, so the story is still the same. Okay. The mother will have the first pregnancy. Okay, kehamilan pertama, the fetus dia ada Rh positive, dia ada antigen D. So, during the last month of pregnancy ataupun semasa kelahiran, a little bit of the darah fetus with the one with the positive, right? Dia akan masuk ke dalam darah ibu. Dia akan combine together. Okay, so the mother's blood, dia akan identify antigen D ni. Okay, the mother's blood, darah ibu ni, dia akan detect, okay, I have something new entering my blood, entering my body. So, saya kena hasilkan something untuk fight this thing. Okay, so the mother's blood ni, yang Rh negatif ni, dia akan start produce antibody, anti-D antibody. Okay, so the first child pun dah selamat dah. Okay, lahir dengan selamat and everything. Okay. The antibody, sebab antibody yang the mother produce, right? Dia akan start to form. Okay, dia akan start terbentuk only after the first baby's birth. Selepas kelahiran pertama lah. Okay, so that's why the first baby is fine. But the second baby, okay, the second baby pula, the fetus kedua pun ada Rh positif juga. Okay, that means the fetus kedua, it has antigen D. Okay, but the problem is, mak ni, the wife, the mother, she already developed the anti-D antibody from the first pregnancy. Okay, so dia ada antibody anti-D dari kehamilan pertama. So that means the body memang dah equip lah sekarang. Okay, so now again, when the second baby on the last month of the pregnancy, a little bit of the blood, dia akan masuk ke dalam the mother's body. But this time around, this antigen ni, dia akan start serang the second baby's punya red blood cell. Because now the mother's body will think that this is actually a problem. Okay, so the sel darah merah of the second baby pun musnah. Okay, so kalau dia musnah, it is being destroyed, that means it leads to miscarriage. Okay, it leads to keguguran. So it all starts from the first pregnancy. The mother baby, both of them are fine, but it's just on the first pregnancy, kehamilan pertama, the mother will receive a little bit of Rh positive. So the body will start to build for the danger lah macam tu. Okay, so anak pertama dia selamat kerana antibody for this mother dia hanya terbentuk after the first child was born. So now the body is ready for anything. However, sadly, when they have the second child, anak kedua, the anak kedua is same as the first child. But now the mother's body think that the second child's blood is a problem. The second child is actually a threat for the mother. Okay, so that's why they will have this kind of issue lah. So this is considered like ketidakserasian reses, like a reses incompatibility. Okay, so this is the jalan cerita dia. Teacher already like try to break it down for you guys. Okay, I want all of you to go for a short break. You come back 9:55. We start doing the blood clotting. Okay, blood clotting is also another section. We learn about blood clotting. I think today we will do until blood clotting only lah. Okay, go and take a short break, 5 minutes. Wait, teacher will give you guys this. Teacher, nak minta send boleh tak worksheet tu? Oh yeah. After class, teacher will send it to you. Okay, guys, come, let's start. We move on. Okay, the last part sebelum kita belajar the system limfa is your blood clotting mechanism. Mekanisme pembekuan darah. So in case anything happen kan, let's say kalau terluka ke, accident ke or whatever it is, then you will start to have your blood clotting. Okay, pembekuan darah. So obviously they will ask kenapa pembekuan darah ni diperlukan? Why do we need it? So of course, our body is very smart. Okay, badan kita ni it's very very smart. So in case ada luka, immediately your blood pula, your body will try to protect you. So that means dia akan stop badan kita daripada kehilangan darah yang terlampau lah. Okay, and of course, kalau ada luka, okay, let's say this is your hand kan? Okay, kalau ada luka, that means that it's open right now. Okay, dia terbuka. So, any kind of pathogen ke, bacteria ke, they can actually enter dalam badan kita. So, untuk stop this thing. Okay, untuk mencegah kemasukan mikroorganisma ataupun bahan asing, any kind of pathogens or foreign substances. Okay, so we don't want all that. Okay, fungsi-fungsi lain, why do we need this pembekuan darah? Of course, because we want to make sure our blood pressure kita maintain, tekanan darah kita ni dikekalkan, and also sistem peredaran darah ni, kita punya sistem peredaran darah is closed system. Okay, dia adalah sistem peredaran tertutup. So, untuk mengekalkan that peredaran tertutup, dia akan immediately come and buat pembekuan dekat sini. Okay, so this is why blood clotting, the pembekuan darah, it's necessary for our body lah. Okay, so of course, if they want to ask for the question, they mesti suruh kita explain why this is happening or give the process of it is happening and so on. Okay, so I think teacher can do, yeah, we can do 2 questions. Alright. Look at the questions. Raja 4 menunjukkan a wound, a luka that causes a cut in blood vessel yang menyebabkan saluran darah terpotong. So sel-sel Y, they clump together. Okay, dia bergumpal and then dia membebaskan bahan kimia. So whatever teacher explained here, it's the same thing that is happening. Okay. Before we start, kita fahamkan the image dulu. Okay, you have cell Y here. Nanti kita kena namakan cell Y ni. Okay, and this is your skin, kulit kita. Okay, dah terluka. The open wound. Okay, of course kita ada saluran darah. Your blood vessel kan. So sebab dia terbuka dekat sini, so the darah pun akan mengalir. Okay, the blood will mengalir dekat sini. So immediately your body akan try to tutup this part. Sebab dia tak nak any kind of blood flow over there. Okay, so the question here is apakah sel Y? So who is the one that coming and closing the cut that you have? Okay, so of course your cell Y is your platelet. Okay, cell Y is your platelet. Explain the role of cell Y in the mechanism of blood clotting. Okay, remember the first question we did today, ada gambar platelet, right? So teacher said platelet dia sangat kecil, it has irregular shape, and then tugas dia adalah untuk clump together. Dia suka sangat bergumpal together and then to protect you. Okay, so tugas platelet ialah 2 marks, is it? Maybe you guys can say okay. Bergumpal di tapak luka dan membentuk darah beku. Okay, so in English, They like to clump together at the wound site and forms blood clot. Okay, so that is yang ni untuk A ya. Okay, now huraikan secara ringkas mengenai mekanisme pembekuan darah. Okay, obviously they say secara ringkas, but if you look at the marks, they're giving you 4 marks. Okay, so first teacher will explain first briefly, then teacher will give you the answer. Okay, langkah pertama, step 1, your saluran darah dia akan tercedera, terpotong, your blood vessel will be cut or it will be injured. Okay, that is the first sign. Okay, after it being cut, then darah semua mengalir and everything, right? Okay, your platelet, which is the sel Y ni, dia akan start bergumpal dekat luka. Okay, they will start to clump together near the wound site. So, dia bukan saja clump together, you know. Dia akan bebaskan sejenis chemical, sejenis bahan kimia. Okay, so the bahan kimia has a name. Okay, bahan kimia ni, teacher write the name here. This bahan kimia, nama dia, this bahan kimia, the name is thrombokinase. Thrombokinase, or you can also write thromboplastin. Okay, thrombokinase pun boleh, thromboplastin pun boleh. Okay, so the bahan kimia they mentioned here, ini nama dia. Okay, so they start to clump together and then dia akan release, dia akan bebaskan bahan kimia ni. Okay, so thrombokinase ni, dia akan convert. Okay, thrombokinase ni, dia akan convert because dia perlukan certain type of vitamins. Okay, so the conversion kan, teacher tulis dekat sini your thrombokinase dia akan convert siapa? Dia akan convert prothrombin ke thrombin. Okay, thrombokinase dia akan convert prothrombin kepada thrombin. Okay, why? Because dia perlukan the luka area, right? Dia perlukan vitamin K and no, not vitamin K dan juga ion 2+. Okay, so you don't need to explain so much, just remember this part. Okay, and then thrombin ni nanti dia akan tukar fibrinogen kepada fibrin. The fibrin ni yang akan pergi tutup the entire thing. So fibrin ni dia nampak macam jejaring. Okay, so dia nampak macam jejaring. So tugas dia adalah untuk perangkapkan your sel darah merah. Okay, so dia akan membeku dekat sini. Okay, so luka pun tertutup and pendarahan pun it already stops. Okay, so now these jalan cerita, you need to do it in the form of, in a way that kita boleh dapatkan 4 markah. Okay, so now, I think teacher will skip this question. Sebab tadi teacher already mentioned the importance of blood clotting. So I will take this space untuk tulis jawapan for B. Okay, so give me a second. Find my color. Okay. Okay, let's start. First thing first. Nombor satu, your platelets bergumpal Okay, platelet berkumpal, your cell yang rosak. I think you just write platelet berkumpal lah, easier. Membentuk thrombokinase. Okay, teacher jump the cerita. Teacher start from here. Okay, I start my story from here because memang in the soalan they already mentioned your platelet already clumped together and everything. So they already know the story. So you continue with what going to happen after the platelet all come together. So they will start to form thrombokinase, right? Clumped platelets forms thrombokinase. Okay, then continue. So thrombokinase ni, teacher just put TB ya. Okay, thrombokinase ni dengan bantuan kalsium and vitamin K menukarkan prothrombin kepada thrombin. Okay, so first kita ada thrombokinase. So thrombokinase ni dia minta bantuan daripada your iron and also your vitamin K, and it will change your prothrombin kepada thrombin. Okay, so TB with the aid of iron, of calcium ions and vitamin K converts this one. Okay. Alright. So, selepas dia convert, now we have thrombin kan? So, thrombin ni dia akan tukar fibrinogen kepada fibrin. Okay. Thrombin memangkin. Okay, why memangkin? Because it is catalyzing. Penukaran fibrinogen kepada fibrin. Okay, now you may ask, kenapa kena tukar, teacher? Why can't we just use fibrinogen? Why it need to be converted into fibrin? Okay, because fibrinogen ni dia cepat larut. Okay, fibrinogen, it will become, it is very soluble, cepat larut. So, for you to tutup a bahagian where it has a lot of cecair, which is your blood, you need something that tak larut. Okay, something that is non-soluble, insoluble. Right? So, that's why this fibrinogen will be converted into fibrin. Fibrinogen, dia larut, fibrin dia tidak larut. So that's why. Okay, so if you want to write your answer, you can include that part also. Okay, so thrombin memangkin penukaran fibrinogen. So same thing, thrombin catalyzes the conversion of fibrinogen to fibrin. Am I right? Yeah. Fibrinogen to fibrin. So you can write soluble fibrinogen to insoluble fibrin. Pun boleh. Okay, no need to write an extra sentence. And finally, fibrin ni, berbenang fibrin ni, dia membentuk darah beku untuk menutup luka. Okay, so your fibrin forms a blood clot, to cover the wound. Okay, dah settle. Okay, so but then let's say soalan dia tak bagi cerita ni, but they are asking you to give the entire process of what happens kan. Then your step 1, your first sentence will be salur darah cedera or salur darah terpotong. Then only you continue with platelet will clump together and then dia akan release thrombokinase. Thrombokinase ni nanti dia akan convert prothrombin kepada thrombin. Okay, and then lepas tu what happens? Thrombin ni pula, then the thrombin ni tugasnya adalah untuk convert fibrinogen kepada fibrin. Okay, fibrinogen, remember, fibrinogen ni dia tak larut. Fibrinogen dia melarut. Fibrin dia tidak larut. So that's why the conversion must happen. Then fibrin tu will involve in the pembekuan darah and so on. Okay, so that's all. There is no other way the exam question akan tanya soalan tentang pembekuan darah, you know. There is only this part. What is the kepentingan of pembekuan darah and then apa proses of pembekuan darah. That's all. These are the only two things. So the kepentingan teacher already mentioned just now kan? Because you want to mencegah kehilangan darah, you want to mencegah kemasukan mikroorganisma, pathogen and something like that, right? Then the rest of it, I think these are the two easier one for you to remember. Okay, all right. So before we end our lesson, teacher will just quickly complete the soalan panjang. Okay, soalan panjang is like an exam style question. The one that we did just now is a revision. So let's look at the exam style question. And this one is a little bit hard, dia susah sikit. But let's see how well we can do. Okay, all right. So here, Raja 5 menunjukkan peringkat-peringkat dalam mekanisme pembekuan darah. Okay, let me see the picture. Gambar dia. Okay, the luka starts here. Dia dekat sini, the luka. Okay, all these adalah sel darah merah and everything. Okay, and then dia dah anak panah like that because they want to show the flow of the blood. Okay, and then dekat sini, you can see this. The anak panah is trying to go like that. Okay, and then it has already formed a lot dekat sini. Then dia label dekat sini as X. Alright, now substance X is formed at the end of the mechanism. Okay, bahan X ni terbentuk di akhir mekanisme. Nyatakan dua kepentingan bahan X. Okay, so nyatakan dua kepentingan. So basically your bahan X ni tugasnya adalah to menutup luka. Menutup luka. To cover the wound. Okay, that's number 1 kan? And then number 2 untuk trap. Untuk merangkap sel darah merah. To trap your red blood cell. Okay? So that is the function of X. Untuk stop to stop the red blood cell from flowing more, and then to stop the red blood cell to flowing more, and also untuk menutup luka lah. You can also say to avoid any kind of bacteria untuk masuk ke dalam luka and everything also boleh. Okay, so teacher give you this too. All right. Injury to blood vessel causes coagulated platelet. Okay, coagulated platelet mean yang macam ni. Okay. Damage cells and clotting factors in the blood plasma to form an activator. What is the name of the activator? So, bila kita cedera, salur darah kita ni, bila kita cedera, platelet-platelet ni dia akan bergumpal. Okay, sel yang rosak dan faktor pembekuan dalam plasma darah membentuk bahan pengaktif. So, apakah nama bahan pengaktif? So, this one is the nama, the chemical name lah. So, this one will be your thrombokinase. So, just write thrombokinase. Satu markah, right? Yeah, thrombokinase. Okay. Now, terangkan peranan bahan pengaktif. So that they're asking you to give the role of the activator in the blood clotting mechanism. So you have dua markah. Okay. Thrombokinase ini here fungsinya. First, dia akan tukar prothrombin kepada thrombin dengan bantuan iron, kalsium dan vitamin K. Itu je. That is the function. So why they give you 2 marks here? Because they want the iron, calcium and also the vitamin K part. Okay. So you can say menukar, converts. Convert siapa? Prothrombin kepada thrombin. Okay, when you say this, kita akan dapat 1 markah. However, untuk dapatkan the full marks, you say dengan bantuan calcium, sorry, not calcium, ion, calcium dan vitamin K. Okay, in English with the aid of calcium ions and vitamin K. Okay, so you say this, ini 1 mark, and then when you say this one, mana ni? When you say this one, you get another 1 mark dekat sini. So that's why you get 2 marks. Okay, because there is no other reason, tak ada sebab lain for your thrombokinase. This is the one that we are learning. Alright, last question for the day. Radin terluka jarinya dengan pisau. Dia mendapati pendarahan itu mengambil masa yang sangat lama for berhenti. Apakah faktor yang mungkin menyebabkan keadaan itu? Terangkan jawapan anda. Why? Why some people kalau dah luka, dia asyik berdarah je. You know, even a small paper cut. Okay, very, very small paper cut pun, they cannot stop it. Okay, they can't stop it. So they are asking you why some people are like that. Okay, what are the factors that causes that? Okay, so let's look at the factors. Like teacher, yes, I have some issues. If I have paper cut is small, very small paper cut, it will take days for me to heal. Okay, it will take days for me to heal, and sometimes it will keep bleeding and keep bleeding and bleeding. Okay, so oh my God, that's why. Okay, now, so we are going to look at the faktor. Okay, first, kekurangan faktor pembekuan. Okay, that is the first thing. Lack of clothing factor. Okay, that is the first one. Lack of clothing factor. So what is the lack of clothing factor that we are talking about? The one that teacher listed down just now. Okay, next. Pembentukan Thrombokinase. Yang bahan, the chemical substance, bahan kimia that you need for the fibrinogen to tukar jadi fibrin and everything kan. Bahan kimia tu terjejas. The formation of thrombokinase is affected. Okay, the formation of thrombokinase is affected. Okay, so normally, kenapa this kind of thing is happening? Maybe this person has a condition. Okay, so this kind of condition, they call it as hemophilia. Okay, hemophilia is a genetic condition di mana faktor-faktor pembekuan ni dia tak ada ataupun tak cukup. So we call it as the entire condition, we call it as hemophilia. Okay, so kalau Radin ni dia ada hemophilia, it's a genetic factor, right? So what happens? Thrombokinase ni, thrombokinase ni dia tidak dapat dibentuk. Okay, it cannot be formed properly. So kalau thrombokinase tak ada, then prothrombin ni dia tak boleh tukar kepada thrombin. So kalau kita tak boleh tukar dia kepada thrombin, that means you can't get the fibrin. There wouldn't be any fibrin. So kalau tak ada fibrin, tiada pembekuan darah lah. So darah pun tak berhenti langsung. It will take a long time to cure. Alright. Okay. And then the last one, you can say mekanisme berlaku dengan perlahan. Okay, so it occurs slowly. Memang there are some people where the entire mechanism of this blood clotting ni dia berlaku dengan sangat slow. Okay, it could be a genetic condition or it could be anything. Even if you want to put Radin ni dia kekurangan vitamin K, pun boleh juga. Okay, vitamin K also can, because vitamin K is needed for the process, right? Dekat sini. Remember? For prothrombin to tukar jadi thrombin, we need your vitamin K. So, let's say the person dia kekurangan vitamin K pun boleh terjadi juga where the blood clotting ni dia berlaku dengan sangat lambat. Okay, so vitamin K kita dapat daripada mana? Normally you can get it daripada sayur-sayuran like broccoli. Normally vitamin K it's leafy vegetables. That means sayur-sayuran sayur yang berdaun, you know. Avocado, and then you can get it from grapes, anggur. You can get it from vitamin K apa lagi cucumber, avocado, broccoli, cauliflower, semua ni mengandungi vitamin K yang sangat-sangat tinggi. So, every day, setiap hari, you guys need to make sure your diet is balanced. Okay, because all will be impacted. It is a huge impact if your pembekuan darah tak berlaku dengan cepat. Okay, you are prone to so many infections. So let's say you guys went for a huge surgery. Touch wood, you guys went for a surgery. Let's say it is not healing properly. You already have your surgery and it's not healing well. Dia tak kering. Dia actually lembab je. So it will take a time for you. It will take a time. It will get infected. Akan ada infection. Akan ada sepsis. Kalau bakteria tu termasuk dalam darah kita, then you will have sepsis. So it is a huge problem. Okay, so instead of getting that, makan je lah sayur tu. Okay, it's not going to cost you anything also. Alright, so that is the wrap up for blood clotting mechanism. Actually, teacher already wrap up your last part for this, not to say last part lah, your second last part for the chapter. So the following week, right, I am aiming to at least finish your system lympha, and then I can let you guys have this material. Then you guys can boleh buat your own revision. Okay, so after we complete your system lympha, your lymphatic system, we can move on to your chapter 11. Okay, guys?